You know, a lot of people have been concerned about their safety when they're riding the metro. There have been a couple of incidents of late, and the Guardian Angels have decided that they're going to enter the scene. And joining us on the line right now is Aaron Thompson, Washington commander of the D.C. Guardian Angels. Aaron, thank you for joining us here this morning.
How you doing?
We're doing very good.
Great.
Tell us a little bit about why you have decided to start riding the metro rails and what you hope to accomplish.
Well, first of all, we started out as an organization in New York riding the metro rails probably over 35, 37 years ago. So that's probably one of the main things that kind of got us started, the metro and in New York. So much crime was there. What's happening here in D.C., we want to stop these kids and anybody from being hurt. We don't want another situation where people start carrying guns and the violence just escalates. So that's why we're stepping up to be supportive with the D.C. police as well as Metro to do something about this.
And when you say do something about it, are you guys just looking to be a presence and patrol the cars on the Metro, or are you in some way going to intervene if you see anything? What is your mandate here?
Well, one of the things we try to do is be a presence so people are not threatened and they feel safe. But yeah, we do intervene if there's something that goes on.
And how would you intervene?
We're trained properly to step in if there's a fight with a knife or gun or something like that. We're properly trained to intervene and, deal with that situation.
Deal with that situation.
Absolutely.
Have you had any incidents as yet since you started doing this?
I've been doing it for over 20 years.
Well, I'm talking about in this recent round.
In the recent round, we put out fires and things like that. Just last week, there was an incident where a guy talked about threatening, stabbing his girlfriend right outside the NOMA station. Mm-hmm. And, I talked to him, I calmed him down. Everything was good. And that normally works out like that.
Now,
it's not typically, where we try to put the fire out.
Aaron Thompson is with us. He's a Washington commander of the D.C. Guardian Angels, and I know in the past, from my years working and living in New York, there's kind of the Guardian Angels had a mixed reaction from law enforcement and from politicians. What's your relationship like with the D.C. Police Department? Do they see you as helping things out, or do they see you as vigilantes?
For the most part, I think D.C. police are great. I think Metro police are great. There are some that I'm sure officials that don't really understand what we do and therefore are very timid about, how they accept us. And that's unfortunate because we've been around, like you say, 38 years. You never heard too much about Guardian Angels getting in trouble, misusing authority or trying to hurt anybody. As a matter of fact, it's just the opposite. We get a lot of respect. We get a lot of from people. We're there to help. We're not police officers. We're not trying to take the law in our own hands, but we're there to help. And that's the most important thing. We're there to assist the police. We're trained to try to, just kind of talk a situation down. We don't just go in there and argue and do this and do that.
And start throwing your martial arts around.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, Aaron Thompson.
We don't do that.
I've met some Guardian Angels in the past. I've met your founder, Curtis Lewa, who's actually our colleague. He's on the radio at our sister station in New York. And I know you guys would love to be out of business. You guys would love to actually not even have the need for a Guardian Angel. So let me ask you something. What should the politicians in D.C. and the police departments who are in charge of ensuring the safety of the citizens here, what should they be doing so you wouldn't have to be there anymore?
Well, that's a great question. And that's a great comment. The thing is, I'm not sure what they should be doing, but I tell you what they shouldn't do. And some of the politicians, they shouldn't stop organizations like the Guardian Angel from growing. Let me give you a prime example. You have gangs out here from all types of gangs that are recruiting kids doing bad things. We're good guys. We're trying to recruit those same kids, but we want them to get a good education. Incidentally, our kids go through police background checks. We make sure that they're good. They'll make sure that they learn something. These are people that go on to be police officers and firemen and, you know, really decent law-abiding citizens in the community. And it's positive. And it's very unfortunate that sometimes you get politicians that don't really understand what we're about, and they kind of just block it instead of saying, hey, you know, join a good organization. I'm even trying to get churches involved to be supportive of us and, you know, have young people to join us. Right now, I've had churches that talk about self-defense, self-defense and do this and do that. You know what? Let your kids come out and young people come out and join an organization like ours. It's very positive.
Let me ask you one more question before our time runs out, and that has to do with, you said you don't want people getting to the point where they feel like they need to carry guns. And
exactly.
Okay, what about pepper spray? Because some people have been interviewed and they said, man, if I could just have some pepper spray, I would feel better about things.
Well, I would feel better if they had pepper spray than guns. You know, personally, I'm definitely supportive of the president initiative in trying to do a better background check. But I will say this: the last thing our country needs is people carrying guns, because that's when it really that's bizarre. That gets things out. That's out of control. They're not trained. Innocent people will be shot. Innocent people will be hurt.
And I think some people would argue that innocent people might be able to protect themselves, but we'll leave that discussion.
Well, and we would want them trained too. Yeah. But Aaron Thompson, it's great stuff. We like what you're doing, and as things start to heat up and you get more involved in things, we'd love to touch base with you again.
All right, thank you very much, Aaron.
It's the DC Guardian Angels. If you want more information, Google it.